Hey, we are live. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Hello, chat. How's everybody doing in the chat? What's going on? I hope everybody had a good, what's today? Today's day, Tuesday. A good Tuesday. How was y'all's day? Y'all had a good day?
Yeah.
Can't complain. It was pretty good.
Pretty good day.
That's good. Okay, so everyone, chat. This is my first show. This is my first episode of my new show. It is called State of Affairs. Now, Fatty actually inspired me to do this show, and Fatty will be joining us. Fatty will be joining us shortly. And because Fatty does these panels, and he was gracious enough to say, hey, if you have want me to join, I'll do that. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do that. So I got with Mika. Y'all know my girl Mika. So I got with Mika. Her and I were brainstorming, and Nora helped me. Hey, Dion. Hey, Art. Glad you guys could make it. And here we are. And I'm so excited to have you guys. So we are joined with the new party, my girl Claire Patriot, and Fatty's here. Mika will be joining. I believe Ace is coming. I did not check, but he said he would be here. He's big on TikTok. So I am just going to do some introductions. Let me see. Y'all have to bear with me. Again, I usually don't host. Usually, y'all know it's usually Mika that hosts. And I put all my little slides together. So let's see if I can do it. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Share screen. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. One more time. How do I do this? Isn't it the file thing? File video. I don't know. I had them all up.
Are you using a web page or are you using actual?
I had the files, but now they went away. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I have them here, so it'll be what it'll be. Okay, so this is Claire Patriot from TikTok. Claire has how many subscribers you have? TikTok people.
135, give or take,
You
thousand.
big time. You big time. Hey Beans. Okay, so this was like my favorite TikTok of you. So I'm just gonna play it so everybody knows.
What's going on? I can tell you what's going on, Taylor. The nation has shifted. We're moving away from these woke ideologies that you seemed to really want to push during this election cycle. You said you were supportive of Tim Walz over everybody else when it came to who you were voting for. And you know what, Taylor? We don't align with that anymore. I could tell you that by the fact that they cheered for Donald Trump when he was just saluting during the national anthem. They panned to you, and you got some boos. When she made her initial statement about wanting to support Kamala, I made a post on here saying that I didn't think it was a good idea for celebrities that have a lot of influence, like Taylor Swift, to even voice their opinion on that because it's like they're trying to sway young people. And I got so much hate for it. Unfortunately, this is a consequence of her sharing those views because there's a huge portion of this nation that now realizes that they don't align with what she does morally. I'm, for one, so excited. We're back. Anyways, let me know how this made you feel down below. These are just my opinions. This is just for entertainment purposes. I'm Claire Patriot. Give me a like, follow, and a repost.
That was great. You guys check Claire out. Now, Mika's here. Everyone, I think the gang's all here. Beans is here. No, we're still missing Fatty. But it's all good. Okay, so next I'm gonna do an introduction. You know what? Let's do yours, Mika. I think most people that follow me know you, but we may have some people from Fatty and Beans and the new party that may not be familiar.
Hispanic. And the deporter in chief is still 6 million plus Barack Obama. Okay? The person who built the cages is still the deporter in chief, Barack Obama. The person who allowed children to come across the border. Now, I will give him this. He did tell the parents, do not allow your children to come up here because I'm sending them back. And I don't care if they don't have nobody with them. I'm sending them back. Now, fortunately for me, because I know how to do actual journalism, anytime anybody ever asks me about any of that, I can pull it up on a drop of a dime. So you can't tell me nothing about none of those executive orders because I know them.
But can I ask a question? Real quick, can I ask a question?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So with that being said, I'm okay if you want to hold people accountable, but you also have to hold people accountable when they did it on their time. Because the person that has the highest number of deportations is Barack Obama. I'm sorry, Barack Hussein Obama.
Wait, how do you say Barack Obama, but you're wearing the Trump hat, and Barack doesn't even like Trump?
No, she's saying
that has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Deported more. She's saying Obama deported more. But this is my steaming question. This is my steaming question. I know the world, because I know they're gonna be asking this in the comments. Yeah. You're Spanish, and Trump is trying to deport your family members.
What I was gonna say. I'm Hispanic too, and I don't think that's
but he's
right.
not trying to deport my family.
You're not Spanish?
But that's not what you said.
That's what I said. I said the people in the comments are gonna be like, you got to make America. But
Did it freeze?
I think she's having like technical issues.
Oh no.
Oh, she might have froze. I thought it froze on my end.
Yeah, she froze. Yeah, she froze because it happened last night when we streamed.
Yeah, like out here, it's been the.
Well, yeah, let's keep the conversation going since she's live.
Right.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi's been wonky out here in Maryland.
In America.
Oh, yeah,
In America.
It's bad out here.
Yeah, not just where you at, the whole country.
The whole country.
Look, that broadband that they was trying to do, it didn't work. Didn't work at all.
Yeah. No, I used to take it so personally when I would have issues with my internet, and then I would talk to other people, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it be happening to me too." I'd be like, "What? So I'm not being targeted?" Okay.
Yeah. No, it's trash across America.
I mean, it might be a little bit being targeted.
Yeah, because I got Spectrum, right? My mom got Comcast. She said she used to have the same issues though.
Yeah, I have Verizon. Same issue.
So it don't really matter what provider you get.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
It matters what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it matters where you live, because I live by the NSA. So like directly beside the NSA.
Nora. Oof.
But it matters what you say, because whenever 85 gets going, what it is.
Now the NSA is the NSA, is that Negroes in support of America?
Nah, that's them not supposed to be stealing everything, but in anything. But they do what they want to over here. But I'm right beside the NSA, so anything can happen over here.
You know what I don't get though? I'll be honest, I don't get black conservatives. I really don't get it. I don't understand the willingness to subject or prescribe yourself to either party, as a matter of fact. But in particularly when it comes to conservatives, my issue with them is usually that they choose to be naive and ignorant of the truth quite too often, in my opinion. And what I mean by the truth is the plight of Black Americans, right? Whenever I have a conversation with conservatives, it's usually like, Black people are like this and like this and like this. And it's said without context as if this is just who we are innately.
It's crazy you say that. I feel the same way about liberals. Literally.
1,000%.
Black Democrats.
Oh my God. Well, no, I will give Black Democrats this. Even though I think they're just as delusional, why liberals have to be the worst thing on the planet? Okay. It's something deranged to be a white liberal. Okay. Because not only do they have like a reverse racism thing with themselves? They have this thing where it's condescending, where they don't like, people of color either. But then they use it as like charity to like mask it. So when you don't agree with them, when you don't align with anything, they go directly at you. Everything that you would think somebody in the KKK would say, they say it.
It's so true.
They go
So, but 85 said it's one of those responses that really gets under my skin and makes me want to self-delete. He said, I would say the exact same thing about liberals, but you can't say the exact same thing if all of the rhetoric about liberals is true. Just so everybody know, I'm not neither, right? I'm a free-thinking individual. I don't subscribe to either side. But they can't be the victim party, right? They can't be the alphabet party. They can't be the, PDF supporting party. Like all of these things that they're accused of, they can't be that and the same as the conservatives like are being accused of. You see what I'm saying? So when you say that, you have to say something specific on what you mean by they're the same.
Oh yeah, I was being very sarcastic with that statement. What I will state, based on what you just said, is I find it so funny how everybody's independent that's against Trump. Like lately, it's been like that. Like ever since the election was won, I got a lot of people be like, "I'm neither. I'm right in the middle. But Trump tripping." It's always to that nature.
Yeah.
Well,
I just call you guys undercover liberals. How about that?
I kind of agree with that a little bit, right? Because I have been an independent.
Kelly, check
can you
the back.
hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Good.
Okay. Yeah, so I have been an independent my entire time I've been voting, okay? So my card says unaffiliated, right? But I do lean conservative because I am a conservative, and I do vote pretty much all the time Republican. And that's because they align more with my values, they align more with my issues, and fiscally they are conservative. Right. I don't agree. I don't agree with how Democrats they're not fiscally aware at all. Right. Like they never balance the budget, especially here in this state. Okay. They never balance a budget. So for me, that's something that one doesn't benefit my immediate family. Forget the country. Just immediately it doesn't. So if you take that on a grand scale, you get what you've been getting. Nothing.
How are you guys doing, friends? Mika,
you made it, Fatty.
Thank you. Computer was fighting me and I fighting back, but I won. Mika, you're kind of wrong. If you actually look at the last,
what's up, Fatty?
How you doing? If you look at like the 6 or 7 Republican and Democrat administrations, the only presidents that actually added to the deficit were they added to the difference between the profit and the deficit were Democrats. The people that actually took money and actually increased the deficits were Republicans. You can literally check it out. Like this can literally be.
I'm gonna wait until you finish and then I'm gonna retort.
You're saying you're saying the surplus.
Yes, the surplus. That was the word that I was missing. And it's kind of interesting that even when the Republicans have everything, they won the House, they won the Senate, they have the president, they have the most judges, they're still talking about Obama, they're still talking about Kamala, they're still talking about Biden. Like you got everything. It's time to go to work. Like why the whataboutism? Like it looks like sore winners. You win and you still keep talking about the losers. I don't get it. I understand the sore loser. I don't understand the sore winner. But please tell me which administrations that are Republicans that actually got a surplus, and what administrations that are Democrats that got a deficit or they ballooned the deficit. Yes. And
okay, you said a couple of things. You said a couple of things. So we'll go line by line, and if I forget one, please feel free to remind me because I want to touch on all your points. I was looking for my pen, but I can't find it. All right. So the first one the Democrats, right? Because I guess, for most of the people here on the panel, I see Gen X, I see a little, maybe Gen Z and millennials. Okay. So your memory is probably as far back as Bill Clinton. So Bill Clinton, okay, he left office with a surplus, right? But that surplus wasn't because he actually did good budgeting. That surplus came at the cost of doing business with NAFTA, okay? Which is called what politicians like to call kicking the can down the road, okay? So when you kick the can down the road, whoever else, gets in, Democrat or Republican, has to deal with the issue. All right. And so just like George Bush had to deal with the issue from NAFTA, Obama had to end up dealing with the issue from, again, Bill Clinton kicking the can down the road with the issue with the Glass-Steagall, which caused the housing crisis. Okay. So you have all of those things. That in itself, okay, you have to look at that and say, well, what happened here that he was able to get a surplus? Okay, he got money from having those jobs, those manufacturing jobs go overseas. Okay, that's why they did it. Those jobs that went overseas, we got money for that. We got money for taking off those a lot of tariffs with China. Okay, we got a lot of money by doing bad business against the United States itself, and doing bad business against the people that came back to bite us later. So essentially, that's what Democrats do. They always kick the can down the road, and then eventually somebody has to clean it up. But by that time, it's either ballooned or it's in such a disarray. You got to continue with it. Trump is the only president, Democrat or Republican, that actually said, okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and address this. Yeah, it's going to hurt because everybody kicked it down the road. And I'm saying Democrat and Republican. All right. And then let's touch on immigration. Immigration became an issue.
One second before you do that, because like you said, our memories, right, and they're not that good, right? So I'm not the smartest person when it comes to politics. I'll be honest. I'll just listen to what people say, and I catch shit that don't sound right, right? And first of all, I want to make sure we're not making an argument that it's a negative for the president to leave office with a surplus. You are saying that was
it's a negative for the president to leave office with a surplus when he knows that he's already sold out the people, and he doesn't have to deal with that because on his record there would be a surplus. But by the time you come back, that's like me giving you a check and I know it's going to bounce later and it's going to come back on the bank.
Right. So here's the issue with that though. But we can't say that for sure because
we can't say that for sure. We can't say that for sure. That's actually what happened. I was actually about to compare it to the immigration because it happened also with immigration. He was the one that put the Our bill in place that did the same thing with immigration. It kicked the can down the road and made it worse.
Okay, let's put a pin in it.
I didn't get to finish though, right?
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you, Beans, because I didn't introduce you. I didn't introduce you, so I gotta introduce you first because I got my little stuff up and I gotta do this the right way. So remember your talking point. Okay, I'm not one of those people. Remember your talking point. I just gotta introduce you. Okay, and get through all of this. Because y'all know I'm having some technical difficulties, and I knew it was gonna happen because we're gonna talk about some religious things. And the enemy is always at work. But I had to show this because Beans and I were on this. We were on Fatty's show, and this guy really pissed me off. So check this out.
Problem is that within STEM field, which is all the H-1B visas apply to, they only apply to STEM.
Why do y'all keep saying it's just STEM? It's not just STEM. I'm looking at it right now.
H-1B visas only apply to STEM.
Oh, really? Wait a minute. According to ChatGPT, nope. The H-1B visa is not limited to STEM jobs. So who qualifies? Accountants with an accounting degree, marketing analysts, economists, architects, teachers, fashion designers, lawyers. The key is that the job requires a specialized degree and that you have it. But wait, there's more. AI overview. No, the H-1B visa is not limited to STEM fields. Other fields like architecture, engineering, mathematics, physical sciences, social sciences, medicine, education, business specialties, accounting, law, theology, and the arts also meet the criteria. How do you say checkmate in French? A checkmate.
Okay. Oh, how do I remove this? I'm the worst with this, you guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. Go ahead. Finish, Beans. See, I remember.
Nah, listen, just really quick on that. I just hated the fact that he posted that video on his channel like he was dropping science and facts, and he wasn't. And now that we put it out there, I guarantee he's not going to take it down because people don't like to admit when they're wrong. But no, so what I'm saying is this, though, right? We don't know what the surplus could have done or what we could have done with the surplus because the very next president came in and within a year, the towers were falling and we were in a war. Right? So we don't actually know what could have been done, you know what I'm saying, with the surplus to make things look a little bit different. Right?
So why not say the same thing for example, Obama, that inherited the biggest economical crisis of the last 70 years? Because he got elected literally on the 2008 when the 2008 crisis happened. Like, we all make excuses for everything that other presidents do. Oh, Bush had the war. Oh my God, Trump is elbow hurt. That's why the economy was down. But every time a Democratic president comes in and actually leaves the office with less deficit than he had, meaning he might not have a surplus, but he actually, like Mika said, oh, they don't balance well. They actually do better than Republicans. They come in with worse numbers, and they usually leave with better numbers. Republican in, Republican out. For whatever reason, every time they come in, they get a certain number, or every time they leave a number way worse. So even if we assume that the Democrats do a terrible job with the surplus, what American president, Republican president, exactly got like with a good number or a bad number, and he actually got the number better? Which one? Bush, Trump, like which one?
Mika? Say it.
Yes, I want to know which one. Like, yes, which one of these presidents actually got since she's talking about balancing the economy, which one did it? And I just want one.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can use ChatGPT and Google. I'm okay with we having good information when we're talking about politics and about numbers. Use ChatGPT and tell me which one.
I'm not. I have something going on real quick. Hold on.
No, take your time, Mika. We are going to do another introduction. So I did not get to introduce the new party really quick and more people are joining. So while she gets that together, we're going to go ahead and do this. And again, I never host. So, nope, that's not it. Here it is. Okay.
In good company with Mr. Trump. But anyway, I'm going to head down that way. They should be just bringing the stuff in since the polls just closed a few minutes ago.
All right. Well, I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you. Have fun tonight.
Stuck down there because when I get in for the vote count, you can't leave until they've counted the stuff. That's the early voting. And
yeah, make sure you eat and stay hydrated because you're going to be locked in.
I did. So anyway, let me go get on my.
I had another video, but I cannot find it. But you guys go check out the new party. That is Nora. Who else is there? Enzo, Slim, and they have a full cast, and they are conservative and progressive. I'm going to get away from saying liberal because Gray is not a wacko liberal. He's probably the most normal Democrat I've ever met. So Gray is a progressive. Fatty is a progressive because they're not Trump deranged. So check them out.
We represent the far left and the far right and everything in between. So it's not just progressive and liberal. And we do a panel style show where we do topics, and we also have a man show on Monday and Wednesday evening.
Go ahead, Gray.
Somebody Southern was saying Gray is a cool cat, but yeah, like Nora said, like we're all different. Like Slim is on the right, Nora's the right, and I'm a Democrat, so we're the new party. And we have other cast members that are part of the cast.
Okay, I think I did all the introductions. All right, so we're gonna go into the first topic. All right, so this is the topic of the show, and we're coming up on Easter week. Yeah, it's Easter week right now because Easter's on Sunday, and there is a lot of demonic activity going on in this country, and I wanted to talk about it. And I'm like, does everyone else see the demonic activity? And I will tell you guys, if I'm one of those people that's like, that's demonic. Like, I am one of those people. I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not like a holy roller. I do read the Bible, but I do think I'm kind of like tapped in, kind of spiritual. So my question to you, Claire, do you feel like we are that we are approaching the gates of hell? I'm dramatic, but what do you think, Claire?
I do see a lot of things happening. The whole Coachella, the Lady Gaga, even just the things with the ladies going to space and you can flip the design around. Those are all very odd things to me.
I'm glad you brought that up. We're gonna talk about that. So here is the Lady Gaga thing, and because she was at Coachella. Now she's well known Satanist, but here it is. Crap, I gotta turn the volume off because they'll get me. It doesn't matter. Y'all know what she sounds like, but it's giving ritual to me. It's giving satanic ritual to me. And like I said, she is a known Satanist. There's like a crazy conspiracy theory that there was of this one rising pop singer that was people think that Marina Abramovich, who is also a witch, who also kicks it with a lot of the elites, Jay-Z and the whole bid, that she sacrificed that woman for her. Southern B said, who this woman? Okay, Southern B, this is my girl Claire Patriot. She's on X. She's on TikTok. She's really booming. And that's my real life homie. But yeah, so this is freaking spooky to me. This is freaking, it's demonic to me. All right, let me remove it. Okay. What do you think, 85? Are we living in Babylon right now?
Oh man, it started a long time ago.
That's true.
Actually, one of the reasons I switched parties, because I've been noticing a lot of demonic stuff in that party regarding rituals, entertainers, and it's so funny how they all support that party, man. And it just, like I said, I used to be a Democrat, most of my life. But, as I got older and I just started to see, how they dealt with the children and, what they were willing to, expose as far as, a man can be a woman and, all that stuff to me was on that level of demonic, man. And I just couldn't get with it and I just couldn't figure it out. Like to this day, I can't figure it out. So I always felt we were living Revelation, for the last, I want to say 10 years. I just had this feeling like this is where we are. We at the end times right now.
So
I totally think that. Go ahead.
You went from there to support somebody that has 13 pictures with Epstein and calls him his best friend?
He did not call him his best friend.
That's the little.
You went from, oh my God, these dances most of the morning to getting with the guy that literally is sucked up with the dude.
No, I went with the guy that everybody is pretty much getting on. If that's the
but the Satanists are the part is all aligned with the Democrats. They're all up in there.
And keep in mind, everybody.
Fatty, I'm going to win this argument because nothing's more satanic than baby murder. There's nothing more.
Actually, what is more? Actually, what's more satanic than that?
What's more satanic?
Go to Iraq, kill 1 million brown people over a war over weapons of
Well, at
mass
least they get to be
destruction.
people. At least they get to be people.
Didn't
Obama do that?
No, let me finish, please. Let me finish.
At least they get to be people.
Let me finish. Start
That
the
was
war.
under Bush. That was under
Start
Bush.
the war.
I'll give that to
Start the
Fatty.
war in
He's right.
Iran over
Mhm.
weapons of mass destruction that never
True.
existed. Murder 1 million people, innocent people, and then give oil contracts to your family and how the Bushes own all the oil that is going through that
That's how they
Isn't that
roll.
satanic?
Bush
Isn't
is
that
a
demonic?
neocon. Bush is a
just like you
neocon.
have.
About the rhino
Okay, but hold on.
Republicans.
Okay, but
And Bill
this is where
Clinton is demonic too. Before you guys go
this is
there.
where
This is
Fatty
what we
goes.
finna do. We
But
can't.
this is
I'm
where
pretty
Fatty
sure the audience can't hear us. I'm gonna just
this
be
is
honest.
where Fatty goes awry, right? Because he only does that to the extreme of the right. He doesn't do that for the extreme of the left. So let's
I
talk
do.
about how. So
Put
let's talk
Bill
about how
Clinton in
Barack
jail.
Obama. Let's talk
Mika,
about how.
I do. Put Bill Clinton in jail.
No.
Yes, I
You
do.
just say,
I just did it. Put it in jail.
you just stated something. So let me
You're
retort.
stating a lie then.
I like this guy.
Listen to
Okay,
what you
hold
said.
on.
No.
Hold on.
Hey,
Let-
Mika, you said I'm sorry for interrupting you. You said, "Oh my God, he doesn't do that to the left. He doesn't do that to the Democrats. Hillary Clinton is corrupt.
No, I said you don't do
Joe
that to the
Biden is
far left.
corrupt.
That's what I
Bill
said.
Clinton should go to jail for the shenanigans he did on Epstein Island. Actually, hold both sides accountable. So your statement is wrong. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, let's read this super chat. We got a super chat from Robert Platinum for $2. Having sex outside of marriage equals Satanism. No, I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely a sin, and sin does separate you from God. Okay, now back to this, what you was talking about, Claire, because I wanted to talk about that fake news, whatever it was, play. What was it? I don't know. AI presentation that these elites were doing. Oh no, that's not it. That these elites went to. They went. What was it? 65 miles outside of the. What is that line called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Blue Origin thing. But that was the biggest load of crock horse shit I've ever seen. But anyway, before I get into it, tell me, what the heck does that look like to you guys?
A dildo?
Yes.
Thank you. They knew what they were doing. So, and then it's all women. I'm like, what kind of psyop is this? You got a bunch of broads going on outer space. Lady, what is it? Katy Perry or whatever. All right, let's see.
If it was the rose, it would be more funny.
Mandarin can start. 2, 1.
Y'all don't need to see this crap. Okay, now I got to show. Now this is what was super demonic to me. What you were talking about, Claire. But while I get this together, Nora, what do you think? Because I know you have some thoughts. Me and you talk about these weirdos all the time.
Well, I know the right's going to come for me tonight, but I think that both parties are demonic in different ways. I think that the left worships pronouns. I think the right worships money. I think the right worships Elon Musk. I think the right worships whatever agenda they're on. This week, it's about that boy in Texas, but we don't got to talk about that. But that's their focus this week. And so I think the country is going down because we're divided. The enemy likes division. We don't serve a God of confusion. We have a lot of confusion going on. And I definitely don't think that those bimbos went to space yesterday, by the way.
Heck no. Well, they said they went, I cannot think of that name, but they went right before, like, what do you call it? They went to that, like, to the edge, like not as far as the stratosphere.
They went to the stratosphere.
Thank you.
We didn't go wherever they didn't go. It was fake.
Girl, I'm with you. You know I'm with you. Now this was friggin' creepy to me. All right.
So much. We love you. We love you. Bring us back safe. We're so grateful. We're counting on you. We're counting on you. We believe in you too. Thank you for helping us heal. 3, 2, 1. Taking up space.
They were saying a prayer. I felt like they were praying because why are you talking to this friggin' spaceship? You know, I don't know. What do you think, Enzo? We haven't heard from Enzo.
So, I mean, I just think it's a little weird. Like everyone said already, I don't really think they went to space. It's just more like a publicity stunt. And it was a little weird watching them praying to the spaceship just now. I don't know. When it comes down to anything, any stars like that. I look back, I was raised on rock and roll. Rock and roll is the what they say, where the devil and God shakes hands at the end of the day. There's so many rock stars out there that sold their souls for fame and fortune, as well as pop stars. Pop stars are just more known about it nowadays. So yeah, that's what I'm really thinking about. It's a little weird.
It's weird. And I thought this was kind of interesting. And we will do a whole, y'all, we talked about this on Rumble. Hey, lipstick vibes. Hey, girl. Oh, where'd it go? I don't know. But yeah, did you guys know that NASA means to deceive in Hebrew? Did y'all know that?
Yeah,
I just found it out.
And I mean, most of the stuff with Western, more modern Western stuff comes from either a lot of Masonic stuff, or it comes from a lot of old Hebrew or Egyptian text. Like your medicine right now has a staff with a snake around it. That's actually what the doctors used to use back in, Egyptians and Hebrew times and things like that. So I mean, this culture is full with it. I mean, we're literally mimicking Rome. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the origins of NASA, and we're not going to talk too much about this, but I just thought, again, coming up on Holy Week, it's no coincidence. They're going to send these broads up to space. Okay. And then I just was thinking, because I already knew the origins of NASA. So this guy is going to break it down. But Jack Parsons, first of all, the people that started up NASA, the engineers, they came from that war, the World War II war, on the other side, the Schnazis, under Operation Paperclip, because we're not going to not have some good scientists here, or whatever you want to call it. And then there was this guy, Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons was a rocket engineer, and he was good buddies with Aleister Crowley. So anyway, I'm going to play the video a little bit, and we'll see.
Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, and Werner von Braun all have in common. If you guessed NASA, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. One of the foundational reasons why I do not believe in NASA is because in order for NASA to even exist in the first place, they need. Without the rocket, you don't have NASA. What do you have without the rocket? You do not have NASA. So in order to get NASA going, they need the rocket. Now, who do they hire for the rocket? First of all, there's this company, the JPL, the Jet Propulsions Laboratory. And there was a guy, Jack Parsons. Now, Jack Parsons worked for the Jet Propulsions Laboratory, and the Jet Propulsions Laboratory worked side by side with Werner von Braun, who was brought over by Operation Paperclip during World War II. Werner von Braun was a Nazi that what happened was Operation Paperclip America didn't want all the smart engineers and German Nazis to go to waste. So they had them snuck over via the Vatican through false passports into all the Allied countries and into the United States. Now you have Werner von Braun working side by side with JPL and Jack Parsons. Okay, why is this weird? Because Jack Parsons is great friends with Aleister Crowley, who is a Masonic master and a magician. Okay, now Aleister Crowley became friends also with another interesting character, L. Ron Hubbard. And these three were like the three amigos. L. Ron Hubbard. Now, why is he interesting? Because he wrote more science fiction novels than anyone else. He's like the most ridiculous science fiction writer ever. And then he created a religion that everyone knows called Scientology. So you have the creator of Scientology hanging out with this guy making rockets. And then the guy that making rockets, Jack Parsons, actually how he passed away was he got blown up or something, doing a stunt. I don't know, some crazy story, because it's all a story. What you have to understand is the founding of NASA is the rocket. And the people that founded the NASA, you have Jack Parsons, random weird guy that they got really no info on when you do research. You got Werner von Braun, a Nazi. You have Aleister Crowley, a Masonic magician. You have L. Ron Hubbard, okay, the creator of a religion. I don't think they were making rockets, to be honest. I think they were creating a belief system that is so big and massive that the whole world can believe it. And what better way to build that belief system and then shoot it up into the sky on a giant phallic symbol?
I said it. I didn't even watch this whole video. I said it. Okay, sorry.
I mean, give me a break. The whole thing from the ground up is completely ridiculous. I mean, it goes even deeper because when Werner von Braun was at his height, he became friends with Walt Disney. And the intro to Disney is the rocket going up and not going anywhere, going right up over the logo, showing you that they don't go straight up. I mean, now they do because Elon's got his powerful rockets that hit the firmament. But beside that, they used to go like that. And it's so funny because they became best friends. Then when Werner von Braun died, he put Psalm 191 on his gravestone, which talks about the firmament. Learn the history about where these things are founded and how they're founded, and then how NASA was even found. Of course, it was founded right around the summer solstice. Why is this? Because all these secret organizations and all these things, they use the natural flow of the current of the world to do things. And the summer solstice is the sun is as strong as it's going to be in the northern part of the world. So they use the energies of the earth. It's the same as swimming with the current instead of against it. Do you swim against the current when you go out in the ocean?
Okay, that was enough of that. My mind is blown.
I mean, but that's what they talk about all the time. I mean, that's why we do everything in maritime law. I mean,
right, yeah.
You know, a lot of my mother's family members are Masonic, so that's what they teach. You end up learning that. They teach you about everything flowing from a current. That's why when they talk about the birth canal, when your water breaks, the birth certificate, all that is connected to water. It's a whole big thing, but unless you're in that world, unless you understand Masonic teachings, you just think it's crazy talk, honestly and truly.
Yep. Beans, did we go to the moon?
I don't believe in any of that stuff, so no.
You said so you don't think we went to the moon?
No, I don't believe in any of that space travel and all of that. I don't believe in that.
Why I don't see you? Are you frozen? Is he frozen?
His lips not moving.
He's using
it's my logo. It's my logo.
Oh,
I'm off screen for a second, but I didn't want it to look like whatever.
No, you fine.
That's dope. That was like,
look what is happening. Okay, Fatty, is this a thing in Portugal? Do y'all think that America went to the moon? What's going on? And I got a question for you about Portugal. Or is this like 2 tinfoil hat, like the chat says for you?
No, it's with social media, we have more access to information. So it's irregular that things that we took it for granted, 69, 2001, whatever. That's natural that we start questioning some things. So it's I would say 80% are comfortable saying that we went to the moon. I kind of don't understand how we could only do a Game Boy with no colors in the 90s and people kind of took a spaceship to whatever and came back when literally rockets blowing up in 2025, which is kind of interesting. But
yes, that's why I think it's fake, because the Challenger was probably 20 years after the first moon landing, and then it immediately blew up, traumatized the little school children that was watching it. And I said, how did science regress? But anyway, while I have you, because I will forget this, I think America is super demonic, right? Let me be clear. We are a blessed nation, but there is a lot of demonic activity going around. And I hear nothing but great things about Portugal. I hear that it's beautiful there, just great things. What do you think America, or what policy do you think America could adopt from Portugal that would benefit our nation?
Universal health care. You should be broke and still afford going to the hospital and take care of yourself. I paid my college with a part-time job at Pizza Hut. I don't think I learned worse than any of y'all spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and getting in debt for 10 years after college, not having the prisons being run by private companies. I think that would be great too, because that kind of incentivize people to just arrest other people. A little bit of control on weapons, because there's mental health in every part in the world. Only on the United States, there's like metal detectors in schools. Like there's a lot of things that I think the Portugal could learn with the United States, but these are the things that the rest of the world kind of does better than the United States. So it will be cool that somebody wouldn't literally go homeless because he has cancer at 63 and now he can afford it. So he loses his house, he loses his life and all that.
I agree with you on the universal health care, believe it or not, because I know people would consider me far right. Actually, I consider myself far right, but I do think we should have an option. You know, if you want to have privatized, like I know the UK, you have an option, but yeah. What was that?
I have private insurance. It costs me $50 a month, and if I break my foot in 7 places and my knee and a lung, if I don't have money, I can go to the hospital and I pay $25 to get everything taken care of. So I think that's the difference. And I was going to ask you something, Kelly, real quick.
Yes.
Do you guys trust your God?
What was that?
If you guys trust your God, if you trust him.
Yes, I do.
Why not let him handle all these demonic things when people go there? Like, why care about symbols of things that might be look as demonic? Because if they actually are, as soon as that person dies, they will actually have to meet their maker, and they are going to literally clean everything they need to clean. Like, you don't trust him that he will handle that shit when he goes there?
Yes, but we have to pray too. We have to pray. We have to rebuke the enemy. So I can't just not do anything. You know, I have to pray, rebuke the enemy, because he is like a roaring lion seeking to destroy souls. But I don't really deal with demons. Like if I see somebody has like a spirit, I go the other way. Like I'm not one of those people that's like, let me try to exorcise this demon out of him. You know, my girl Nora on the panel, I love her to death. She be arguing with these demons, fatty. I don't do it. I let them.
I like Marilyn Manson. The dude looks funny. I find it funny. I find it hilarious. Like Marilyn Manson when we were growing up.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
I actually, because especially because I like black. If you're doing like, as long as you're not hurting nobody, I don't know.
Honestly, Marilyn Manson is like, I think I would say he's like friggin' Elton John now compared to these like Playboy Cardi and friggin' Lil Uzi Vert. What do you?
Marilyn Manson was way worse than anything they was doing. Boy,
I don't know. I don't know. Compared to Playboy Cardi, I don't know. I remember him. I remember him.
And even Madonna and Cher, like, aren't they equal or worse than the ones that we have right now? They're doing the same thing.
Not to me. And I do know, because now Madonna is like, what did she do? The Cabal. She was pretty not to me, man. And maybe because I'm older, you know, like it seems worse to me than it was back in the day. But no, Marilyn Manson, he had some bangers. I'm not gonna say I was a fan. I like Korn. I was a Korn fan. You vibing with me, Claire. Okay, now where did Mika go? Mika, what are we gonna do? Are we headed for damnation in America? Oh, she's still looking up that thing. I'll let you. Oh, you're muted. Are you muted? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. What were you saying now?
I said, are we headed for damnation?
Why would I don't get it. Like, why would we be headed for damnation? Like,
I don't know. I'm just seeing so much demonic activity because chat said something really interesting, and I'm going to follow up with Beans on this. Chat said that they think there are some rituals going on with this Carmelo Anthony thing. I said I could see that. I know already. Nora, are we? I know Nora agrees with me. You don't think so, Mika?
No, I think everybody puts too much stock in a bunch of stuff. Right?
I think go ahead.
At the end of the day, all you gotta do is just be mindful of who you surround yourself with. All you gotta do is be mindful of what you're doing. And then with this whole I guess Carmelo, like I don't really know the ins and outs of the case because I'm waiting on the actual case and the facts. But no doubt that they'll use it if they can to, you know, stoke division.
That's what I think is happening.
Why not? That's the recipe. That's the recipe that's been happening for years here. So
I think they are playing the race stuff, and they want a race war. And when I say they, I mean they. Okay, I'm not talking about the whites and I'm not talking about the blacks, but they want a race war, and they want to. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. Do you think we're going to have a race war, Beans? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
My bad. I certainly hope so. I really I'm at the point where I'm just ready for human beings to go extinct. When I say this, I know it sounds facetious, but I'm just tired of people, human beings. Like all the games that we play with each other, all of the BS that we do, the way we communicate with each other is just exhausting for me. So I hope they do. Go ahead and send it up, because it's boring at this point. So they might as well just go ahead and send this mug to the moon so I can watch the liberals blame the conservatives and the conservatives blame the liberals and everybody pretend like they don't actually have a dog in the fight. So yeah, I hope so.
Okay, Claire, I'm going to come to you. New party. What do you think?
Oh man, I think it was spoken like a true liberal.
So
I always felt that the Democrats and the liberals was trying to basically do some depopulation scenario. It's basically seen, and just to touch on Fatty's point, I was really waiting to talk to you about this because you mentioned something when we were on the demonic scenario, and I find it real funny that everything that's glorified by the Democrats is satanic, and my president, Donald John Trump, is the only one that mentioned God in plenty of rallies.
That is
true.
And
he's also the man that says we have to get back to God. And if any other president was on that level, let me know.
The one
Just
that paid
the reason why I voted for him.
The one that paid the corn star that he cheated with his wife. Like that one, the grab him by the pussy.
That was before he was saved. That was
before he found God. So he cheated on his wife with a prostitute. That one.
No one is without sin, Fatty. No one is without sin.
So then why judge anybody?
So why judge?
If no one is without sin, why judge anybody?
It's crazy. Hey,
because Trump has the power to push an agenda. The Democrats are pushing an agenda that's destroying America, and starting with the family, starting with gender, starting with things like that. And Trump is not doing things that's going to destroy us for the next 100 years. That's our issue, and that's the difference between Trump and the Democrats.
So you know, it's funny. One thing that I thought that we all agree that is Donald Trump is not the good guy. He's not the political correct guy. He tell it like it is. He does controversial things. He has a shady past.
You said he's not a good guy?
Yes. One second. Respectfully.
No, I asked you what you said.
Let me finish, right? A lot of y'all have a man on this planet, like have a guy on this place that most people don't know because it rhymes with Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com. And the first thing y'all actually tell people about him is this man kept his family together. He has one wife, one family. He pushes them. This is beautiful and all that. And this is why it's not just because he's good in business. He's a family man. And then we have a guy with 3 wives. His woman was the cover of Playboy. He cheated on her with a prostitute, grabbed him by the pussy. All of this going on pageants with kids dressing inside and going inside of the changing rooms and all that. And all of a sudden, he's such a good guy. he's such a good person. No, he's
Start
not.
watching
He
the
might be a
news.
good. He might be a good president. He might be a good president, but he's definitely not a good person. So chill.
I think he's a son of a bitch. I think Trump is a son of a bitch, but that's my guy, and I want a son of a bitch running this, driving this shit, man. I don't.
No, you can't, but Fatty, you can't put too much onto 85 Slim's take because he's misrepresenting us as it is, right? He's already straw man in order to make his point. I got to be a liberal and all this other shit, right? Instead of just standing on whatever your point is, right? Like at the end of the day, the dude is a jerk. Like I might not.
I want to ask you this then, Beans.
Well,
I want to ask you
this. It's okay because everybody else get to finish, so I'm definitely finishing this time.
No, because actually nobody gets to finish on this panel because I've been asked a question and I cut her multiple times. I have to shut up.
But what I'm saying is, 85 Slim, you don't have to mischaracterize us, right? If you like Buddy, you could stand on the reasons why you like Buddy, but you also have to acknowledge the things that's being said about him and don't respond with "don't listen to the news." Because then as soon as we go find the proof that all of these things happen, all you're gonna do is say the defense that you're gonna say anyway. So you might as well just say that.
But here's the thing, though, B. Here's the thing. Nobody is coming to me with stuff that's going to be relevant to my life. What he's done in the last 8 years is relevant to my life. Y'all talk about things that don't even matter.
But we ain't. But Slim, the conversation wasn't. Slim, the conversation wasn't about what's relevant to your life. The conversation was about whether or not he's a good person.
When you're talking about the president. We talking about me as an American citizen. I'm talking about my life. This is what I voted on, bro. And at the end of the day, that other party didn't have nothing to do with my family, my values, anything. It doesn't matter who. Hold on. Let me finish.
No, I'm gonna let you
land my plane. It really doesn't matter who's a good guy or not. It only matters who's basically doing what's right for this country. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're white. I'm an American. The way we get rid of racism, not talking about it. You're an American citizen. That's it.
But if it's pertinent to the conversation, then why you can't have the conversation in good faith? If that's what we're talking about, then you should respond according to what we're talking about and not just how you feel. That's what children do.
I always respond to what we're basically talking about. I
no,
got
you weren't.
Over emotions tattooed on my body.
But
that's
you weren't. Fatty broached the conversation about whether or not we all could agree that he was a bad person.
And I'm not going to agree to that. I can't agree to.
Okay, so then you have to give us context on why he's not a bad person instead of gaslighting what we all know we can go and prove.
I did. I gave you a whole segue on how he mentioned God before any other president that I've ever stated. That's
Kelly, I haven't went yet.
The devil knows who God is, 85 Slim.
Well,
so he also did God. You should know that the devil also knows God. He also knows the Bible. So what the fuck does that mean?
That is true.
That's because he can quote a scripture or he mentions God. Did you not see the Chris Rock?
I don't know him personally.
God bless
That's
America.
the reality. What I do know is the whole country voted for him. That's what I do know. So you going at me and the other 80 mil, or who you going at?
I'm going at you. I don't give a shit about them. I'm having a conversation with you. And I'm saying you're having that conversation in bad faith like a fourth grader. And it's frustrating.
At the end of the day, you can't tell me who I'm misrepresenting. Because
you misrepresenting me by calling me.
You need to ask me who I represent before you say that.
No, you misrepresented me by calling me a liberal, and I take offense to that. Okay. I don't fuck with none of y'all, and I said that when I first started talking.
I respect
y'all
that.
Some pieces of shit.
You know
he
what?
He is right. No, that is true.
Salute to that, bro. Straight up, because that's standing on business.
And that is true. I can respect that. I've been on.
I don't fuck with the liberals either, but I can respect that.
Hey, Kelly, check her email, please.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Gray.
Mika, I apologize Mika. I apologize for interrupting you. It's your show. It's your show. I should be quiet.
I was just trying to respond to what you was asking me. That's what I was saying.
I'm just saying. I apologize. It was to you. I forgot it was those show. I apologize. My bad.
As a Democrat,
you're fine. I was just trying to respond, and then I was trying to answer his question at the same time. Bean's question. But I'm gonna let Gray talk because Gray was trying to say something. Then I'll come back.
Thank you, Mika. I appreciate it. Beans, I understand your frustration. As a Democrat, I'm around Republicans all the time. I work with Slim, Enzo, Nora. So, sometimes you have to deal with misinformation or things that may be misconstrued. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's based on people's experiences on why they may feel a certain type of way. And I feel like the Black Republican thing is like brand new, so people are like very upset about it. And I feel like, of course it's frustrating when you look at someone, you feel like they're going against their own self-interest. But I feel like if you just take a step back and just say, okay, let me understand why this person feels this way, we'll probably be able to get along like a little bit better. I mean, like, there's more and more information. People probably didn't have as much access to information. And like what Trump did was he dumbed down politics. So now a lot of people who really weren't into politics are into politics right now. So that would just be my explanation.
No, I understand what you're saying. To me, I don't make excuses for adults, right? When it comes to communication, that's my pet peeve. That's what my whole channel is about, highlighting how people communicate in these juvenile ass ways. It's ridiculous. And then we tout ourselves as the queens and the kings and the high values and all this other shit. And then we can't even communicate on a grade higher than fourth, right? At the end of the day, I don't think that these Republicans or conservatives are voting against their own interests. They might align themselves with the principles of the Republican Party. Good for you, right? But then when we say, well, slavery happened, KKK happened, Jim Crow happened, Civil Rights Movement happened, Vietnam War happened, crack era happened, removing vocational education from schools happened, jobs going overseas happened, prison industrial complex happened. Why you want to talk all this shit about Black people? Don't forget all that shit happened. And if you really want to count it down, you can pretty much say it all happened all the way up into 2008. So what is it that you expected from Black people to do in the last 17 years? Overtake the white man? If not, just shut the fuck up talking about Black people while you're around me, if you ain't gonna be contextual about it. But we haven't even had that conversation yet. I'm just explaining to you where my stance is at. I don't give a shit about none of these political parties. I think for myself. And that's the problem when you pick a side to me, Gray. If I stand on the conservative side, if they say some dumb shit, now I got to stand with them, even though they saying this goofy shit. And I'm standing there with this goofy ass look on my face because I know I don't really believe this, right? But it's conservative idea, so I have to stand on it. I rest my mic. Go ahead, Mika. I'm sorry, Mika. Go ahead. I didn't mean to go that long.
I know. I think that's kind of cult behavior. I don't think you have to go along with anything.
But it happens a lot. I'm not accusing y'all. I'm just saying it happens.
Because on both sides, and me and Kelly talk about this all the time. On both sides, there can be cultish or hive mind like behavior on both sides.
Yeah.
Right. And again, like I said, my card says no affiliation. Okay. But like I said, my values are conservative, and I support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't support the Republican Party as a whole because there are a lot of rhinos. I don't support the Democrats at all because of one, their policies that they put on the books, but two, they don't serve the common person, period. So I don't support them at all. But you don't have to agree with every 100% of everything. There's always an 80-20. All right. 80% of what Donald Trump does on the books, I agree with. There are some things that I slightly disagree with. I don't agree with at all. Right. But there's more things that I do agree with. So that's how I look at a politician for me. And then when it comes to what's actually on the books, right? When it comes to Latino people, when it comes to Black people, when it comes to Native American people, okay? When you look at what's actually on the books, the most racist people tend to be Democrats. They literally just voted against seniors. All of them voted nay. Every last one of them. Why would you vote against seniors? All of them. Not just one, two, three. No, the entire house.
What do you mean by seniors? Old people?
65 and older? Yeah, 65
Donald Trump
and
is trying to cut Social Security.
That is not what Donald Trump is trying.
Wait. We need to understand exactly what that means. Vote against them how?
Yes.
So, okay. So they had a bill in the House where they were trying to give the seniors more money. The Democratic Party is not actually into tangibles. Okay. Just like they're not into the tangibles of reparations. Okay, that's why they keep studying these things. They studied it 1,000 times in California. They got HR 40 up there with Sheila Lee and Ayanna Presley and all these other people. Okay, they will study it to death, but they're not into tangibles. So what I'm saying is, all of these people never do actually anything that's actually going to move something forward. I don't even like progressives, but at least they actually talk about something. Like, I don't like AOC, but she's actually talking about something. It may be stupid, but she's talking about actually doing something. Democrats never do anything. I've never seen a Democrat actually put something on the books as a policy that actually moves the country forward. Never.
So I want you to respond, Mika. But Greg, do you see what I mean? The question was, what did they do exactly to vote against the seniors? Did she answer that?
I agree with you, and
but did she answer it? I just want, because I want to make sure everybody can see it, that I'm not the only one. She didn't answer that, right? We still don't know how they voted against the
let
seniors.
me know how I didn't. I'll wait.
Because we don't know how they voted against the seniors yet. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't vote for that bill.
And I know
I said it, so I'm just listening to what
and podcast. And that's the thing. She doesn't know. And once again, Elon Musk, the not the owner, the front of Doge, says that Social Security is an entitlement, and he literally 1 week ago started to actually go after them and try to cut it.
That is an entitlement. That's what it's called.
Social Security is not an entitlement. You pay on entitlement is something that is given to you. You pay into Social Security. You pay into Social Security, and then at the end of your life, you get that money back. This is not an entitlement.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not how you don't. No, I'm American. I'm American. I'm American. That's not how it works. I give you no. I give you the money. I give you the money, and then just like a pyramid scheme, then you come behind me and you give me the money. And if the other person doesn't want to pay in at all, there's no money.
Okay, so
this is
now
a pyramid scheme. It's not you paid into it. There's no money there.
Let's assume
you'll be better off keeping your own money and saving it than putting it into Social Security.
What is, Fatty? She described.
No. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. Let's assume there's a pyramid scheme. Is Doge and Elon Musk try to cut Social Security, which will disproportionately affect older people that literally need Social Security, the most popular program on the history of the United States, to actually survive? Is that going to impact them? Yes or no? Is he trying to cut them?
No. And Elon Musk, hold on. And Elon Musk isn't the first person to do this. Now, this is actually a bipartisan thing. Okay. This is actually a bipartisan thing. What are you talking about? Barack Obama has talked about this 1,001 times.
Social Security is the most popular.
Chuck Schumer.
Listen, we're talking about the American people, right? Before Social Security, older people were literally becoming homeless, not having ability to pay their medical bills and all that. Social Security is the most popular program of all time between Americans. Republicans and Democrats most agree that we should take care of the people when they get older and they can work.
That's not even where Social Security came from.
You know, it's funny.
And I'm sure you're going to tell me. Hold on. I'm sure you're going to tell me that. Income tax is American too, when it's not.
Most countries in the planet have income tax. What you're talking about?
No, but United States don't. The United States did not. It is not in the Constitution, and it's illegal. Now, this you can't tell me because I actually
Donald Trump running
no,
three
this
terms.
You can't tell me because I'm actually a CPA. I'm actually a CPA. This you can't tell me. The United States does not have an actual.
Hey, Mika, this is what I'm talking about, right?
But Fatty,
let me just finish and then you got it, because we're not talking about reality. For example, she called Donald Trump a conservative. That's hilarious.
No, I did not.
No, please. One second.
Said, no, you earlier you said
no. Okay, let me correct myself.
Hold on, no,
let me correct myself. I will correct myself. You didn't say that. You said I have conservative values, and this is why I'm voting for these people. Your president is the last thing like he's not conservative at all. Nobody knows Donald Trump for being a conservative. Okay, when people ask him, can you please quote the Bible verse? He didn't know how to say one, right? And what I'm talking about is the disparities. You are saying this is not constitution, is not on the Constitution, so it's illegal. Donald Trump was literally entertaining the idea of running a third term. That goes against motherfucking
and
Constitution.
so was Barack Obama. What are you?
You see it, you can stop it. These all. What about Obama?
No,
What about
because what I'm trying, please, I don't like to keep yelling. I don't like to keep yelling. Like I don't like that. I don't like to keep yelling. I'm trying to have a conversation. I don't like to keep raising my voice.
You have to be consistent. If you want to, like,
you said something, I get to retort to it. Like,
but
please.
Fatty, this is why they don't like.
Do it have to be? I know you are, but what am I?
Because
no, but just because okay, but you can't have an emotional outburst and then tell somebody else they can't have an outburst.
That's fine. So what did so that's fine. What did I say that was wrong?
He said something. He said, "What are you talking about? That's what the Democrats do all day long."
That's crazy.
So why would you do what they do? You're supposed to be better than them. That's the point. You're talking shit about people.
I'm not supposed to be better than nothing. I'm not a politician.
And every single time
why do you have to yell?
You say,
I don't have to be better than you.
Like, but to Beans and the Fatty, this is why the right.
I'm not a politician.
This is why the right is always
shit about them because you just like them.
You
just like them. Right. Everything we accuse the conservative of, you say the liberals did it too.
Delusional as hell.
You say something about Trump, you say Obama did it too. What kind of responses are those?
This was the question I was trying to ask you earlier. Give me the policies from the Democrats that benefit America.
And let me jump in really quick. I will say this: the Democrats recently voted against that no tax on tips, and their candidate endorsed that. I just felt like why didn't we vote for it?
Because that bill was pushed together with a bunch of other bills that actually would undermine that shit. This is what podcast says all the time.
What was the other bill? What was the other bill?
Let me finish. This is what people do.
What were the other bills that were pushed together?
Please. Hey, Mika, I am going to be honest. I don't remember right now, and this is why I told you to go and watch and get ChatGPT, because I want people to be factual. I will go ahead and will tell you exactly the bills that were connected to that they make them not vote through it. And this is what both parties do. They will put one bill in front, a very important bill that looks that is for the people, and they will tell a bunch of toxic bills, and then you'll say, "Oh, do you see? The other side is voting against that." No, it's because they put other bills.
Yes, you are referring to an omnibus, but correct me if I'm wrong, and Mika would know this. Didn't they have to put a stop to those big omnibuses where it was like a whole big package? And that's why I was going to ask.
Which was the thing about the budget?
But I know the information that the Democrats literally said. He said, "We are not against this thing. We want this thing to pass. We just can't let them do a bundle of other things that are going toward the American people, put these in the front, and then now use it as a political weapon." That shit is dishonest and it goes against Americans. You should pass that bill and you should not put the toxic waste behind it just to use as a political weapon. That's totally fair.
So again, what don't you like? Because I don't like to ramble all over the place because then I have to think a thought over here and thought over here. What don't you like about Republicans?
Democrats and Republicans work for the same people. They have the kids in the same school. They work for the same companies. They get money from the same lobbies. They are literally the same. They are two sides of the same coin. They are paid. They are lobbied during the campaign, and then they do the bidding of Big Pharma. They do the bidding of American industrial military companies. They work for the same people. This is the difference between me and you, Mika. 1 second, Mika. I
wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say nothing.
I can say literally to both sides, the game is rigged. Both of them are working for CPAC. Both of them are working for Israel. Both of them are working for Big Pharma. Both of them are working for billionaires. I can say that. The problem is when the Democrat does something wrong, like Joe Biden did a bunch of shit wrong because he's literally almost dead, I will say this isn't inadmissible. We need to find somebody better. When the Donald Trump does something bad, what about like why?
Both do that. Both sides do that.
So let me respond to you, Fatty.
Damn, you gonna do it again, Kelly?
So let me respond to you, Fatty.
Everybody does that.
Let me respond to Fatty. Fatty, you're actually correct with that. That is a point that I agree with. I talk to Kelly about this all the time, about how the Republican Party, as a matter of fact, the Republican Party will go against Donald Trump. Okay, that's just what those people do. Those rhinos and those Democrats, that the neocon Democrats, okay, they all do the same thing. They all work for the same people. They all under the same shadow government, yada yada yada. So that's that. That's why I said I voted for Donald Trump. I did not vote for the Republican Party.
So he's not working for
because nobody in the Republican Party wanted to clean up those rhinos that are in the Republican Party messing it up. The values of the Republican Party is what I do like. However, there are rhinos in the Republican Party, and it's so many of them because they're all up there doing the same thing that the Democrats are doing.
So
and they're getting fat, they're getting rich. So yes, I agree with that point. I voted for Donald Trump.
So without moving the conversation, what do you think about Donald Trump and his policy on Israel? When you say American first, we are not going to intervene in foreign policy.
Hold on, Mika, because me and Nora are going to chime in on this.
And by
Fatty.
Before you go, let me close this out. Hey, friends, Kelly doesn't have the redirect to our stream for whatever reason. I need to kind of tell her on the back, how do you do it? There's 160 people on my side. I'm going to close the stream right now. Please, untouchables, come to the side. Unless they have a party over here. They've been extremely nice to me, even though I interrupt them a lot, but don't tell nobody. So come to this side. The link is on the description. The link is in the chat. Please go ahead. Come to this side. I'm going to close it out. Okay? Team Ferry and the Untouchables signing out. Peace. Sorry. Okay. You guys can go ahead. My bad.
So to answer your question, Fatty, that I hate it so much. I hate it so much. We are Make America Great. It's not Make Israel Great Again. Okay. So I really don't like it. We are our own country. And every time I turn around, what pissed me off so much, and I can't even believe I'm saying this on this show, because they put fear in your heart when you speak about Israel as if Israel is a religion and it's its own friggin' country. We should be able to friggin' critique a whole separate country. So it's going to be what it's going to be. But this is what I think about it. I hate it. I hate that AIPAC is not registered as a foreign government. I hate that they fund both sides. I hate that when a friggin' all these congressmen who are elected with our friggin' votes, when asked, who do you work for? Whose side are you on? Israel and friggin' America. They have the nerve to say, one dude had the nerve to say, oh, that's like saying which parent do you like first or which parent do you like more? I said, what? I thought it was America. Now I have a theory as to why there's there's some loyalty or too much going on in that. And I'm not going to that's a conversation maybe for Rumble, maybe not for Rumble. I don't know, because I have a day job.
It's called the AIPAC.
I friggin' hate it. I hate it so much.
It's called the AIPAC.
I know about AIPAC.
The Israel Super PAC donated $100 million, and they do every single election.
They give money to every freaking body. The only one on the right that hasn't taken AIPAC money is oh my gosh, the guy. Oh my gosh, I'm picturing his wife just died.
Rand Paul.
No. He's on the left. I'm talking about the guy on the. Who is it, Nora? You know who I'm talking about. The guy we like.
Massey. He's the only one that hasn't. Massey. Thomas Massey.
Thomas freaking Massey. And what I hated, Fatty, is that Trump had the nerve to say, "Oh, we should primary him." Yeah. Okay. So chime in, Nora, because thank you, Bernie. Tour. I hate it so much.
I believe in 80-20. I'm supporting 80% of what Trump is doing. I will say his policy on the Middle East, the censorship is not where I'm supporting. And like Fatty, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little offended by some of the things you and Beans are saying, because I'm not loyal to Trump. I call him out on a lot of things. And this is one of those things that I call him out on. And being someone that's half Moroccan, he did promise the Arabic community he was going to end what happened in Palestine. We're not seeing that. So I think there's more people on both sides that are united on this issue. So I don't think it's, like like I think both people are just, when is it going to end? When is the funding going to end? When are we going to have accountability and be able to question things? But right now we really can't. So I'm going to end it there. You could check out our show. We have a documentary coming out called The Truth About Palestine, coming out by next week.
Salute to you for doing a documentary. Salute to all the content creators and everybody that's out here getting their material done. It's a hard job. People don't think it is, but they can kiss our asses. Shout out to all the content creators, straight up and down, right? Like for real.
Shout out for not being lazy like me. Let's go now.
That part.
Oh, I'm gonna sign off. I think this was fun. I'm gonna get out early, guys. My time is up. This was dope. This was definitely needed. I love the smoke. I love the diversity. And I love what you guys are doing, man. So, with that being said, God bless. 85 Slim on all platforms. If y'all mess with music, check me out there. But God bless.
See you later, Slim.
Thanks, Slim.
All right, now I'm definitely gonna talk shit about you when I react to this. Enzo
is a fan of yours, Beans. You got a fan now.
Shit. I'm just talking shit. But Enzo,
no. I'm not. I really think 85. I think he's because
okay,
he like.
So can I ask this? I asked Beans earlier the same question that I was asking to Fatty. What have Democrats done that actually benefit the American people? That's a tangible.
Well, this is the problem. You're asking me that when I've already told you I don't fuck with these people, right? The reason why is because like Fatty was just describing, right? One of the reasons why I don't participate in voting is because I'll go and people always say vote your policy, vote your policy.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't participate in voting. I didn't know that. Okay.
So to that, but I'm just saying so people will understand where I'm coming from. This guy says this, I like it. I go vote for him. Then he do some other reckless ass shit that I'm complaining about. You know what they tell me? Well, you voted for him. Right? So fuck you. I ain't voting for none of them. Now I get to talk shit about all of them because I ain't put a vote in for damn one of them, right? But I wanted to know, can we get Claire and Enzo in, Kelly? Because I just noticed that Enzo's hat, if I'm not mistaken, is a Make America Great Again hat.
No,
it
is.
Looking sporty, Enzo.
I got 3 of them.
Trump was right about Make America untouchable again. That's merch coming soon.
The original, I got everything.
Okay, so my thing is this, Enzo. If I give a critique about Donald Trump or the Republican Party, conservatives, or conservatism for that matter, is it possible for you to respond to that critique without saying, but the liberals too, but Obama too, but everybody too? Can you just address the thing that is said about that your particular
I'll probably start talking shit with you about it.
Okay.
Age 20.
Okay, see, and that's what I'm saying. That's how conversations progress, right? That's how you get to a level of understanding. Because if you're not trying to get understanding, we're just wasting our time. I need to understand how people align themselves with things sometimes when it doesn't actually make sense, right? So right now we're having a conversation about Trump for some reason. I don't know why, but as it pertains to Trump, Fatty named off a bunch of things that he has done or said that would make him be a not good person. Would you agree with those things or would you disagree with those things? If you remember, if you don't, we can.
I remember some of them. Oh, you weren't talking to me. I'm sorry.
So I run through these. I do live debates on TikTok all the time. I've heard everything and anything anybody can come up with about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it you can look at the actual facts and the evidence of everything, and then listen to exactly what was said, when was said. For example, the grab him by the pussy comment. First off, that was taken out of context. It was recorded behind his back. I would have a huge problem with him if he walked on the campaign trail or walked out anywhere in public and just announced that to the world. But the fact that it was recorded behind his back, he didn't know about it. That's locker room talk. Every guy in America, I don't care who you are, what your background is, you've said some questionable shit in the comfort of your friends. And then when you're in front of your parents, you're a completely different person at the end of the day. Same thing with Trump. Yes, he does say some outlandish shit in public, but nothing to that extent where I'm going to sit there and hold him accountable and say, oh, his character, because he said grab him by the pussy. No, that's a stupid argument with me.
What about the second part of the statement? I don't even wait because you still didn't find the Beatle. It was not the first part that got him in trouble. Was the second part?
But it doesn't matter.
I don't even wait.
It was still recorded behind his back. At the
Oh,
end of the day.
absolutely. A podcast. There's a
So
guy
it's
on this
literally-
place that has 34 felonies, and everybody says he's a bad guy. Donald Trump has the same felonies, but he's a good guy. It's funny. If you broke,
felonies,
if you broke and have 35 felonies, look at you.
It has
you
never been
nigga.
charged. Nobody in the world in New York State has been charged with that exact crime. You had
Wait, what?
Alvin Bragg.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna hear
charge.
this.
That exact charge, the falsified business records with the intent to conceal another crime. That is the only time in New York State history that exact statute has been used, and it's only been used against Donald John Trump. So tell me how that is not lawfare. Also, I factor into that the judge on the case donated to the opposition. The DA literally ran on taking down Trump by any means necessary, legal or not legal. Those are his words, not mine.
So Enzo, let's say I concede to everything that you just said. Matter of fact, let's say I go a step further than concede. Let's say I agree with you. Why can't we apply that same rhetoric to, and I'm just doing this, I know you're not black, but why can't we apply that same rhetoric to black people who have felonies when conservatives want to use the felony and the crime statute against black people all the time, that a lot of things shouldn't even be a crime? Well, you can't hear my question if you don't let me finish, right? Why can't we apply that same rhetoric that a lot of things that black people are charged with, right, and convicted of probably shouldn't be a crime, more specifically drugs?
Well, like I said, when it comes down to the facts of the case, it should be used exactly the same exact way that I'm using it with Trump.
Yeah, but he couldn't have been charged with something that wasn't on the statute unless they created it right then and there for him specifically, right?
I mean, the fact that they had Stormy Daniels testify on Donald Trump's behalf, not the state's behalf, blew the whole case out of the water at the end of the day.
So how is
DA,
he?
you can manufacture. Like I said, when you have a DA literally saying, "I'm going to run on taking down Trump by any means necessary," you can get some things done. Let's also factor in that there was 6 other court cases brought against Trump with more evidence than both New York cases combined, and those got dropped. The biggest one right here that I love talking about is Mr. Jack Smith's special report. There's more evidence in this, and this was dropped. So how are we going to sit here and say, well, the 34 felonies, obviously he got charged with it. That's there was so much evidence in that, but this right here, there's more evidence than that, and that didn't make it to the court floor because it got dropped twice.
Right. So do you think
complete lawfare?
So you're okay with a person with 34 felonies becoming president, obviously, right? So
It's a classy felony, first off, which is a step up from a misdemeanor.
Absolutely, I agree with you. All you're doing is regurgitating what I said, that you're okay with it, right? What I'm saying is now, do you think that they should remove the limitations for the average citizen who has a felony from being prohibited from getting jobs for the city and for the state?
Beans, who is they?
Whoever's in charge of removing those statutes.
Can I answer that?
Well, I'm waiting on an answer to my question though. So
all depends on the evidence in the case. If there's not sufficient evidence, obviously that should be overturned, just like in Trump's case.
No, not overturned, because his didn't get overturned. He got the felony.
Is in the appellate court right now.
He's the president, right?
Hold on, his is in the appellate court right now. That's why I'm speaking on it the way that I am.
Okay.
If it wasn't in the appellate court, I wouldn't be speaking on it and saying, well, all this evidence, all this, all that. If that's the case, that's set in stone at the end of the day. If the appellate court denied it, then it is what it is. I'm still going to stand behind my president at the end of the day, regardless.
Absolutely. That's my point. See, you just said it right there. You're going to stand behind him regardless to whether or not it's set in stone. So that's what I'm saying. But go ahead, Mika. You want to say something?
You know, I just wanted to respond to that, but I didn't know what your thoughts since y'all was going back and forth.
Well, the question was whether or not people, the average ordinary citizen with a felony, should be able to get city and state jobs. Or federal jobs for that matter.
Okay, so you were just you guys were just going back and forth about Donald Trump being a bad person. Well, what would actually lend to your question and lend to him being a good person is Donald Trump is the only one actually pushing for the felons to actually be reinstated. Their voting rights and certain things to be reinstated back into society, like not just be, in the background forever. So that's actually something that Donald Trump pushed for. Donald Trump, of course, did in his first term, the First Step Act. So there's a lot of things that Donald Trump actually does agree with that you're talking about. And he understands that a lot of the times it's disproportionate to African Americans, especially
Blacks.
African American men.
Blacks. We're not African American.
Okay. Oh, Well, you
She knows how I feel about that word. She knows how I feel about that word.
Yeah, but you're not even using Freeman. You might as well use the Freeman then.
I like Freedman. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
that. So what I'm saying is, as much as you can go and point to whatever you don't like, okay. But if we're going to actually talk about what you were, liking it to, towards Black people, Donald Trump has actually put more than I've seen the past presidents since I've been alive, put more towards to that. He also got the act to not have Black mothers chained to a bed while they're giving birth. That was Donald Trump. So there are things that he actually put on policy, on paper, for Black people. And this is also based on, if he's supposed to be such a white supremacist, this is also coming from the inside, meaning based off the people that are around him. Okay, he learned about this from he learned about the stuff with the women in the prison. He learned about that from Angela Stanton King that was around him. So you have to align yourself with people in order to know what's going on in certain communities. And that's what Donald Trump has been doing. Donald Trump was the only one who actually told the HBCUs, you don't have to come back here and beg for money every damn year. Why? So as much as you can, try to put him down, we can look at policies he's actually put forward and actually did, and not just
I'm not sure if you. I don't think you're talking about me because I haven't put Trump down. I'm
not saying you personally.
I know. I'm trying my best not to talk about Trump. I'm trying to get to know the people on this panel, like I assume most people watching the shows are trying to do. We've heard all of this rhetoric before, including the false testimonies, like, oh, he hooked it up so the HBCUs don't ever have to come back again. Lies. They got to come back every 10 years now. So what? Congratulations. How about this? He also lied about how much he gave them. He told everybody it was 250 million when it was really 80. He gave more to Hispanic serving institutions than he did the Black ones. But you're not gonna say that out loud, though.
Okay,
right?
so are we?
I don't want to talk about Trump. I want to talk about you.
So it's either that. So wait a minute. That's like. Hold on. That's like. So now is. Oh, he didn't give enough. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, none of them gave a damn. They don't really care, and they get your vote.
That's called a straw man.
No, listen,
right?
Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they get your vote. They get 92%. This man don't even get your vote, and he still did something. He don't get your vote. He don't have to do a damn thing.
Obama gave more money to HBCUs than Trump did. Stop it. And it's not even close. And it's not even close. See, you can't argue with me because I don't like either side, so I don't have a reason to lie on them. All I'm gonna do is tell the truth. People either gonna accept it or not, right? What I'm saying is this: what you did was you created a straw man, right? By trying to make it like my position is that the other people didn't do this or he didn't do enough. What I'm saying is you're lying. That's my argument. Don't lie about what he did for HBCU. What you said is that he made it to where they don't have to come back and beg.
That's not what I said.
You literally said he made it to where they don't have to come back and beg.
I said. You said,
wow.
"Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing for?" No. Can you liken it when you were talking to Enzo? You asked about what can you liken.
Hold on, Mika, because I know what you said. You said every year. So technically she didn't say that. She said they made it so they don't have to come back every year. They don't have to come back every year. But that's
why I said, hold on. But that's why I said the argument is it. I said, so now the argument, you move the goalpost. Now it's not that he doesn't do anything for Black people. Now it's like he don't do enough. He said he gave $250, but he really gave $200.
Right, because the argument that you're presenting is that you're trying to say this thing that he did when I'm saying it's irrelevant because I'm not talking to you about Trump. Maybe that's your agenda here. Congratulations, have fun with it. My agenda here is get to know the people I'm on the panel with, to explore your mindsets and see how you reconcile the choices and the things that you prescribe to. I don't give a shit about Trump. That's why I asked Enzo, does he think? Remember, I asked Enzo, does he believe that people with felonies should be able to get city, state, and federal jobs, seeing as how he's okay with a sitting president being having 34 felony convictions? So I didn't ask him what Trump did. So I want to say thank you, Enzo, for not responding to me about what Trump did.
When it comes to a Class C felony, you can get a state job.
you can get a federal job. If it's a Class A felony, which is like murder or anything like that, obviously you're not going to be able to get a state or federal job. You can still vote being a Class E felony. So,
and you know what? I'm tired of talking about Trump too, Beans. I'm with you on that. So let me go ahead and get through these super chats really quick. Hey, I'm tired of talking about him too, because look, I'm in a super blue state, and I can just say, hey man, how about that weather out there? And they're like, Trump controls that weather. I can't. So I'm with you. So we got Dirty Dude from 199, and they still don't balance sheet. We got a couple what is it? Oh, gift memberships to Fatty. That was really nice of Shadow Dragon. Oh no, I think he got 5 memberships, and then
Yo, what up?
T.O. Gifted 5 memberships. We have Robert Platinum. Robert Platinum, you've been talking a lot of crap in the chat. I've been seeing it. Robert Platinum's gifted $2. Oh, we did that one. Yeah. Having sex without marriage is Satanism. Then he did another one. Serving our carnal desires in lieu of serving God is Satanism. Read the Satanic Bible and find out. I know, because I'm going to sit that one out, Robert Platinum.
Great argument, though. That's a great argument.
Okay, we have Dirty Dude 199. He can't name one verse in the Bible. Delusional AF. We have HQ reacts with $5. Maggots are in a cult. They always have disingenuous convos. Guaranteed they can't answer truthfully about their orange incompetent thug. We have another one here. HQ React's spending big money. All right, look, we got to trigger these Democrats a little bit more. Okay. HQ React says, you know why I can't stand you, Beans, because you get the illness around you, yet you indulge this foolishness instead of deconstructing the bold talking points. We have another one from Dirty Dude 199. She gave the Republican term, aka alternative facts. We got one more. Look, HQ reacts again, $5 super chat. This is the cultish. What is it? Cultish OG maggots. They can't go 2 seconds without mentioning a Democrat. And we have TO. Politicians be acting like small hats, lapdog. You're not lying on that one, TO. Okay. Now, I messed up with the chat. Look, y'all gotta bear with me with these chats. Okay. Somebody says orange is the new black. Go ahead, Enzo.
What stage HQ? What stage TDS are you at? Are you stage like 2, 3? Or are you terminal? At this point? We can't tell. Please let us know.
You ain't shit.
Or he done sent like 5 super chats.
Yeah,
that's all right. You can tricking. We fine with that. Keep on tricking.
That was not necessary. And it was
Blue
unfair.
money spends the same.
He's spending their money though. I don't look okay, but
go ahead. She sent me a message saying that Enzo is broke and he's not going to match your contributions today. That's what she said. Send me an email right now.
I'll bust out the rollie for you if you tell me I'm broke.
Okay. So back to the theme of demonic or activity or whatever you want to call it. So racism, we all can agree, is evil. You know, we have no place in it in society. And to your point, in Beans, I'm not an occult member. Nora's not a cult member. We do hold Trump accountable, and that's what we should do with our leadership. And what I will say, and I will hold my own party accountable. And there's a lot of friggin' racism right now going on X. But us conservatives, us Black conservatives, we're dishing it out as much as we're giving it as much as we can dish it out. Now, this is something that and I'll say this. Everyone is a tough guy behind a keyboard. And I will say X is a very vicious place. Now, I do not think this reflects of the whole party. And the reason why I don't think this racism reflects of the whole party, because Nora does, the new party, they do lives. And for me, I think it gives a better perspective of a pool of individuals. And yeah, but I will say the racists, the far right racists, they've been having a field day. But this is what they are we're going to talk about it a little bit. And it is really gross. So this woman, and I don't even follow this guy, but I've seen him before on X, and I already knew he was racist. But he says this evil judge deserves to spend the rest of her life in prison for what she did today. So this is the judge that reduced the bail for Carmelo Anthony from $1 million to $250,000. And again, I don't really want to talk about the case. We talked about it on Fatty extensively. Y'all saw I'm not one of those Black conservative coons. Okay. I'm just not, and even though I'm a conservative, they want to say I'm a coon, and that's perfectly fine. But I thought this was super gross because this lady is a Republican for one, but because she's Black and she reduced a bail, which she actually had the right to do, and is not uncommon for a minor and someone that has no prior charges. And later this week, we are going to talk more about this case with a lawyer, but yeah, I think it's gross and I don't like it. So, and you've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna give you a break, Beans. But Nora Gray, new party, tell me your thoughts on the racism that you've been seeing online. Should the races segregate? Because they're saying we need to go back to segregation.
In respect of, I was going to say in respect of Gray being the only FBA on our team, I'll let him go first.
Nora runs the X, so she sees all the stuff on X, but she lets me know all the stuff that she sees and how it's affecting her. I mean, honestly, I'm a Democrat, so I'm not really surprised that people are saying this. I can understand why Black conservatives are probably struggling with hearing this, because I think in their minds it's been more of like, oh, is this racial utopia? And I know that's a great way to think. And, you guys going to the Republican Party may be beneficial. I always say as Black people, we need representation on both sides. But I'm not surprised. I don't think it's going to get any crazy. I think, Kelly, when you said people are tough behind the keyboard, I think that's what it is. I think most of these people wouldn't say these feelings at their job or around their neighbors.
I'm a thug in real life, though, so I stand on everything I say. And I don't hide but yes, I'm with you there. I'm with you there, Greg. Nora.
I disagree. I think it's going to escalate. I think if this boy gets off, I think we're going to see. I don't want to say riots, but I think they're going to be pretty angry. From the things I'm seeing, it's all sides. It's the left, it's the right. People are fired up on both sides, saying racist stuff on both sides. It's not just the right either. I want to be clear. I've seen people on the left say that they're glad that white boy got killed, and I don't think that's right, but I don't want to talk about it. But again, they are saying things like that. It's both sides. Yes, you can say Beans, but it's true. It's both sides. Now the right is saying some extreme things too. They're calling him scum. They're saying they don't understand how, the $250,000 bond got dropped. People are saying some extreme things, and I don't think it's just internet talk. I think they mean it, and I'm going to tell you why I think they mean it really quick in regards to whites. I think the whites are frustrated. They feel like they're being replaced. They feel like they're being outnumbered, and they've had these frustrations.
That's
and unfortunately,
their fault, though. They're not having babies. Go ahead.
It is their fault. I'm not saying it's not, but they feel like powerless. And again, that's their fault in the sense of you got the same opportunities as everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like a little frustrating to hear them say that, but nonetheless, they feel like that. And as far as Black people, for me personally, being somebody, biracial, being multiracial, I'm offended because in the sense of, I thought we moved past this. Like, why is this being a racial thing? Nothing is racial about this incident other than it happens to be a white boy and a Black boy. There's nothing racial that caused this incident. People are turning it into that. So that's where I'm at.
Great. Let me do these super chats because I will forget. So we had a couple roll in. We have Temperance with Love Mika in Enzo's Insight, $2 super chat. Thank you, Temperance. We have T.O. T.O. says with a $5 super chat, X/Twitter is a demon's breeding / training ground. You ain't told a lie, T.O. Facts. Book Eric now $9.99 super chat says Black people have been hating and asking for the smoke from whites for years, and they are mad they are getting it back. Okay, now my insight, or what I believe is, here's why I disagree with you, Nora. They had a week to do something. Okay, the whites. Y'all had a week to do something because this is what it said. This is what they said, and I will give Tom Foolery credit for this when he said this on being on a Fatty show. Tom Foolery says, "Well, the white people keep saying if this was a Black person, they would have rioted and this, that, and the third." And Tom, he was right about this. He said, "There's no reason for anybody to riot or do anything because with the Black people, the assailant didn't get arrested. Black people were rioting and carrying on." I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Again, I think if they was really about that action, they'd have did it by now. And I will say this,
yeah, but that was before he was locked up. He just got out. I mean, I think they're about that action. That's why the family's in a rush to move. They have a whole security team.
Here's another reason. Here's another reason why I don't think they're gonna do nothing, Nora. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys, chat. We all know there is a wealth gap between Black people and white people. White people have more wealth, therefore they have more to lose. So I think when you have a little bit more to lose, unless you're, buck wild, I think you may rethink things. So I just don't think they're going to do anything.
Why
I don't
are
think
we
they're
not
gonna
looking at this case outside of one is Black, one is white? Why are we not looking at this case as humans?
I'm not that nice, Mika.
You
I'm
have
not gonna lie
two
to you.
children. Well, they're not babies, but you have two teenagers who obviously everybody here has been a teenager. You already know how impulsive you are. You already know, how young men, high testosterone, want to showboat, all that good stuff, right? Regardless if you're Black or white, you go through the same thing. Black and white women have the same parts, everything, right? So I'm trying to figure out why is nobody looking from it from those angles, right? And that's why I said I wanted to reserve my judgment and my thoughts on all of that until I actually saw the facts, because I'm looking at two boys, okay? And just from the little bit of stuff that I can hear, I can pretty much see how that was gonna go. Now I don't know why the knife was involved, okay? Which is it's alarming to me, but I don't know. So that's why I said I'm going to wait. But I'm it doesn't remiss me that nobody is talking about the human element here.
Because people are
racist. One boy is dead. One boy's life is probably done.
Because people are racist. Me, Nora, I think Beans too, and I believe and Fatty too. We really didn't get too much into the weeds with it because we all were pretty respectful. Like, hey, let's wait for more stuff to come out. We have enough sense, to do that. But these racist people,
even when I'm saying that, they don't care. They're still attacks. They go on our page. They see our Black podcast. Attacks.
Nora,
They don't care.
Nora, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
With some of the sentiments you said, but you share a perspective that is only to a small group of us, okay? Because you and I are both mixed race people, right? So we're closer to the I can see both sides, right? I understand both sides, because sometimes people, of another race, whether it be the white side or the Black side, they can't understand that, because they're around white people all the time, they're around Black people all the time, right? Like, that's just what it is. So we are in a small pool of those type of people. Most people aren't around other people, regardless of how diverse they try to make America sound.
Right.
Everybody goes to their corners.
That's a fact. Talk your shit.
So that's the only like, and honestly and truly, that's the only thing that pissed me off about this whole thing. I was just like,
Well, Mika, I'll say this though. To your point, well, I'll say this first of all. I got to get this out. When you say you black women and white women, y'all have the same thing, yeah, but y'all ain't built the same. Goddamn it! Shout out to black women, but it ain't even close. Shit ain't even close. But I did want to say two things. One, the fact of the matter is the thing that bothers me about this case is, and I can say this because I'm gonna question Nora on this because I don't believe her, but I can say this: the black conservatives absolutely. Right, have been talking about this kid is a murderer. He needs to go to jail. Blah 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 blah. This.
You're right. You're right, Beans, and I'm gonna tell you why you're right. These black conservatives that are saying those things, they're coons and they are paid to say these certain things.
Today,
you are not wrong.
They started backtracking because they started getting the smoke from the racists. They said, let's wait, guys. But last week, the tune they were on was, he's guilty. Why are we talking about this? But this week they're like, wait a minute, let's wait. And I promise you, I can give you the names of the ones that are backtracking because I'm following it closely because I'm like,
hold on. I want B's to finish because I want to hear his. I wanted to hear his take on it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know what it is about me, but no.
But look, conservative or liberal. This is women, okay? Look,
it ain't about women. It's about YouTube.
We like to talk. Go ahead.
This shit happen on every channel, so it ain't just here. It's everywhere. But here's the thing, though, right? But what I'm saying is I can name the ones, right? I'm around these guys. I'm not talking about no random shit I'm seeing on the internet. I'm talking about people whose channels I know they conservatives and I know who they had, and I've been around them and I've heard the conversations, right? But the crazy part about it is whether they black or white, these conservative people are the same ones who will defend shooting somebody and killing them if they feel they're under threat. Right? So that makes sense. I felt like I was under threat. He was walking towards me. Hey, he shouldn't have been walking towards me. Every video that they react to, right? Somebody got shot. Hey, he deserved to get shot because they so pro-gun. But then in this case, I get touched. And now you can't understand why I used the knife. Everybody ain't fighters. Everybody ain't Mike Tyson. Right? It just is what it is. Like, this is how I'm going to defend myself, whether it's with a knife, a bat, a stick, or whatever it is, right? So that's the thing really that just proves more to me what I said about the conservatives. But just so you know, Nora, what I'm saying I don't believe you on is when you say the liberals were saying this white kid should have died. How do you know these people were liberals?
They were because they do Democratic. They do primarily liberal content. They talk about primarily liberal things. They were, and honestly, I don't have time to show you, but they were saying it. It's both sides. To say it's not, I don't think it's fair. I don't know these people. I can send you screenshots privately. I don't know how to find you, but I will find you and send it to you because they were. And again, I'm very independent in regards to a lot of things. So if I'm telling you I'm seeing it, I don't have an agenda here. I'm telling you it's out there. I'm telling, and as far as the conservatives, we talked about this on our podcast. Great. Did I not call them out? Did I not say, why are the conservative black men? Why are they not standing for this boy? I did. So being no offense, you don't know me, so I think that's a little unfair to say that. I'm telling you, I don't have an agenda. They were though.
I think this guy, Rob Smith. You can't just say though. You can't just jump on. You can't just jump on either side. Now, like I said, I don't know why that knife was there because normally, if you in a fight, as a teen. You in a fight or somebody put their hands on you, you ready to fight. It is what it is. I don't mind it.
That's not normal. That's what I'm trying to say. That's actually not normal.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, I'm saying it normally doesn't escalate beyond, them fighting. That's
hold on, guys.
Normally people don't have knives.
We're getting into the case now.
And that was my only critique of the case because I don't know what was going on. So that's what struck me as the only weird thing in the whole thing. Outside of that, I looked at it as two teenage boys.
And that's what it is. It's not a race thing. We all agreed on that. back to what you or what I was saying in reference to you, Beans, was I did see the racism from the conservatives, and it really super bothered me from the black conservatives, because these effing coons, this is what they say this stuff, and then I'm a coon, and then Mika's a coon, and then Nora's a coon, because this is how we vote. I don't rock with y'all. I don't rock with y'all Bamas, because y'all are racist too. If this boy, if it was, but back to what I'm saying, you're right. I just showed the dude, Rob Smith, that guy, gay dude, and I love gays. Y'all know I love gays. This guy is a conservative, yes, and here he is, multiple videos about why are they fundraising for this criminal, blah, blah, blah. Hey man, he wants a fair trial, and I said this on Fatty's show. Everybody deserves a fair trial. I had no problem with who was it? Kyle Rittenhouse, all them people. People wanted to donate to their GoFundMe's. Hey, that's their business. That's their business.
But you got to remember though, everybody, every side has what's called,
and I'm gonna show you some more.
Every side,
go ahead, Brand.
Every side has the grift. Okay, like when I say the grift, meaning there's a bunch of entertainers that and politicians that sell this stuff to people on the left, and then go home to their little conservative households and things like that, and then the same happens on the right. So there's a bunch of grifters, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you have that, regardless if I align with somebody, I actually align with somebody, the problem will be that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Okay, so that loud person will now represent everybody, just like on the left, the crazies represent all of the left, right? Now I know who I can pick out, right? There are some liberals, even if I don't agree with their policies, I can say that person, okay, is at least sane and willing to, try to work across the aisle. And then there's the crazies. And then you have the same on the right, right? But whoever is the loudest is going to stand out. AOC is representing everybody. And the liberals aren't saying anything.
Well, that just means people are stupid though, right? Because if you are allow for crazy, stupid people to represent you, then that just means you're stupid. Because I would speak highly out. I would speak fervently against anybody who was insane or stupid speaking for me. I'd say it with passion. That motherfucker ain't talking for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Me and Kelly talk about this all the time, and I'll be like, that person doesn't represent me. I don't care. Yes, I have these values, but that don't mean I have to stick with this person because of their skin color, because of their political views, because she's a woman. Like, if she's wrong, she's wrong.
Okay.
Right.
You ain't no feminist.
Here's another one. Here's another coon. This dude also gay. What's up with these gay conservatives with all the races? These gay black conservatives. I don't know what's going on.
Don't forget the Christian part. Don't leave that out.
I don't know what that.
Don't leave that out.
You're talking about the I know you're talking the Christian
conservative and Christian.
Yeah, but this is not new, because there was a guy like 10 years ago called Malo Yiannopoulos, whatever the name it was. It was a gay. It was a gay Republican. And the thing is, none of these people are racist. They actually don't care. This is a big PlayStation lobby. Like they don't care.
Yes.
Like this,
yes.
They do it for money.
I was gonna
they
go
do it for money. They say you are such and such and such, and then they literally leave their house and they say good howdy neighbor, and they have a good relationship with everybody around. They fought the last time they fought was in the 4th grade. They just like the performative stuff. It's like sports. I'll put my shirt, I'll put my head, and everybody knows I'm rooting for the Lakers and you are the Celtics. We fight each other, and you got this year, but next year I'm going to get you. Politics in the United States became a sports fest. This is not about policies anymore. Our team, no matter what they do, they're always right. And these people, and black people, and gays, and women, and LGBT, what they like is the victim card. Everybody wants to play the victim. This is actually perfect. Oh, a black kid killed a white kid. The same way you're saying that black people been complaining, families been complaining, LGBT complaining. Now is the time for the white man to complain. And I thought when I was growing up that the white man didn't like to be the victim, but they love it just like everybody else. If and this is political ammo to actually say it. You see, if he was a black kid, if he was a white kid killing a black kid, he will never get his bail going out because they will riot. The reality is, black people,
and
white
it's
people,
like it hasn't been that way for like what was it, the last 200 years too? Like,
no, but,
just saying, no, I'm agreeing with you. They say, well, if it was a black person, like, hold on, it has been a black person for 200 years. What are y'all talking about?
It's not even there because, in my opinion, white people don't fuck with each other like that.
Facts
at all. Like, this is not something that, like, if it was a like I said, the George Floyd situation, like, it offends black people. Like, what? White people don't get offended by white people actually being bullied, being the platform. They don't get offended. They kind of do the performative thing where they say, "Oh my God, see, people are going against me." But the reality is, I don't really think they care, and at least happens to them, and it's totally fine because.
Fatty, that's because they're not all, but that's because they're not really all the same, right? So that's why, to your point, I agree with you that they don't fuck with each other.
No, but
they're not all like you got. I was watching shit last night. You had the Jewish mafia. Nobody really ever talks about that part of it, right? They had a whole mafia. They was out here committing.
We was talking about that last night, Beans. You got to watch our show. Go ahead. Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
But then you also had the Italian mafia, right? You got all these different versions. You got albinos, not albanos. You got Bulgarians. You got all these different types of white people here. So to your point, they don't really fuck with each other, but that's because they really not all the same.
I don't think it's that. I think in the United States, there's one thing that is the common ground for 90% of the population. God, like, money is your God. And if you have money, you can get away with everything. If you don't have money, put yourself by the bootstraps, why you are a loser, you brokey, da-da-da-da-da. This is one thing that actually unites all the races, all the religions is, if this guy has money, and because money is my God, I will put him on the pedestal. If he has no money, I kind of don't care. This is why.
Let me cut it real quick.
But most people don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg. But most people don't. What I was saying. I have money.
Us as a new party, we gotta leave. I definitely appreciate me, you, Beans, Fatty, for sure. We got a lot of passion. Mika, it's nice doing content with you again, and Kelly. You know that.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I almost didn't recognize you without the hat. I just realized.
Oh yeah, it's me.
My bad. Oh.
So I just wanted to say thank you guys for having us. I definitely learned a lot. I definitely had a good time. Enzo, Nora, y'all have any final thoughts?
Look, we about to close out too. Go ahead, close it out for us, Greg.
Like I said, I'm happy to be here. Kelly, thank you for having me on. I think you have a great panel, a great show. Beans, Mika, Fatty, thank you guys for having me. I'm glad to have the conversations.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, both of y'all. Okay, nice to meet you. I hope we do this again.
Thank you for wearing the black race hat.
You said what, Benny?
The new party.
I said thank you for wearing the black racist hat. I'm just joking though. I'm just joking.
I know.
I'll say this. Kelly knows I love a dissenting voice, child. So if you ever want to come on over to the Red Cup. But we love a dissenting voice. But I like to hear. I don't like to be in the echo chamber, so I do like to hear other people's talking points and why they think the way they do, even if I don't agree. But I just like to keep it as long as it doesn't have derangement in it. Right? Like, we could think logically, we could talk about politics, we can disagree about politics, but when it just be total left, like, that's when I can't do it. But I'll talk to anybody. So yeah, I'd love to have you over.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And I appreciate it too, even though next time I see you, Mika, I'm going to get ChatGPT running the whole show to fact check you because you are out of your goddamn mind. You are lucky that you are small. If you are 1 inch taller, I'll punch you to the screen.
That type of shit right there.
Keep it doing that, Vicky. Keep it doing that. Relax.
Would definitely love to
I appreciate you all coming on.
You're welcome.
And by the way, Kelly, after the show, I need to talk with you about the redirect. So people can literally go immediately here because we lost a bunch of people. Most people lost in the middle of the season. They didn't make it.
You didn't have to shut it down. I was gonna let you roll the whole time.
No. There's business. That's what we do. Y'all are being extremely kind to us, so we have to extend the favor and actually be nice to people that are nice to us. So I appreciate y'all actually for having the untouchables over here.
Yes, we're hopefully, if y'all are open, we will do this again. Definitely.
Yeah.
Beans had me on your show, and Fatty always has me on, so I will definitely.
I'm waiting for the invite.
Subscribe to everyone. What was that?
I'm waiting for the invite. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
For sure.
All right. Well, everyone, follow everyone on the socials. Chat. Thank you, chat, for coming in and hanging out with us. What's y'all's next episode? New party, and then I'll meet Beans. You tell me your next show.
Wednesday we had a man cave show. Me and Enzo will be on there with some other guys. And then on Thursday we have just a regular new party show. They're both streamed at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll actually be hosting. Nora normally hosts on that night. So yeah, at the new party. So that's just one word, the new party.
So here's my thing, Greg. I wanna check you out, right? But are you familiar with the Lapeef channel?
No, not at all.
Okay, see, because they got a show called King Talk. I want to make sure this thing that y'all doing ain't that, right? The panel that y'all doing with the men, is it just high value douchebags, or do y'all allow for?
It's a balance. We purposely will make sure it's a balance. We don't want to be red pill. We have a balance. Gray's on the far left, and we also have not the far left. Gray's a Democrat. We also have a far left person that comes on. But we don't want to be the red pill. We are the antithesis of red pill.
Okay. Well, there's a red pill guy on there hosted. I'm not gonna lie, but
no, it's not that. It's the balance is important though, right? Like, if everybody on your panel has to make six figures, your panel probably trash, right? Like it's just been.
No, it's not. It's not like that at all. I mean, it's trending topics. It gets hood sometimes. It gets political, intellectual sometimes. You get a little bit of everything. Yeah, so
look, he's in the chat right now. That's him. Enzo's on it, and you met 85. 85 and Enzo are on there, and the other guy is in the chat.
85 does meet the criteria, though, but
that bell with the crack in it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm subscribing right now,
and
we would love to have you on.
I just
with the men,
and I just also
I'm gonna go ahead and sit back.
Instagram. So fellas, if y'all,
I'm gonna follow all of y'all for sure.
I'm putting them in the chat. I'm about to put Beans.
Mika, I just need to know. I just saw this one video of you on your. I just need to know. Please, you can tell me to mind my business. Is it real? There it is. There you say no more. You don't gotta say nothing else. There you go.
No, I'm just surprised. No, everything 100%. I'm just surprised you yes.
Swear to God on two Bibles.
on Wall's futures, mine, the president, babies.
That is crazy.
Former babies.
Team Fatty and the Untouchables signing out.
You said you mixed with what?
This is one of the most wildest shows I was on. I appreciate y'all for having me.
She mixed with Black and Blacker. That shit look crazy. I'm about to make this my background on my phone. Goddamn.
What you got in the cup?